Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to TMP Finance, where we make long and short-term investing simple. And today we have a lot of news to look over here. Let's just talk about first the NASDAQ 100. Now for the NASDAQ, we are at a pivotal moment. We can see here in previous 2025, we had this very strong support line here. And ever since then, we've been kind of slowing down. And right here, we received something that could be considered a top. You have 7 red days in a row. You have this loss of bullish momentum. And kind of this arc here showing that there is a loss of bulls, a kind of an influx of sellers, and we're starting to see a little bit more. Now, if you do take a look at some technicals here, such as our Fibonacci retracement, what we could see here, if we take our tool, place it at previous all-time highs, and we stretch it down to the bottom of the bear market that we just had in 2025, we can see that the zero line does reach back up to where we currently topped out at. So typically this does show that we do have some kind of a top. Now this doesn't mean that we have a bear market after, it just means that we're due for correction. That correction could have very well happened because right after that we called that this day here on Friday was going to be a bullish day, and we got that. Now right now, what is the pivotal point for the market? Nobody is going to tell you whether we're going to go higher or lower until this following thing happens, and that thing is either a rejection or a break of this zone over here. Now if we just extend this zone, we can see that this is a very key support and resistance level in the short term for the NASDAQ. So very simple, bullish scenario, what am I looking for? A daily candle or 4-hour candle break of this zone here. My stop loss is right under the zone. My take profit is something good, like let's say a 3 to 4 risk reward ratio, just to be conservative. I think that is a very, very possible trade. You're looking for 2.5% to the upside there. Very simple. Again, we're in a bull trend, so we're going to keep making higher highs and higher lows, and we're in a bull trend until we aren't anymore, and you can see a break of a lower low to be the end of the immediate bull trend. But we have yet to receive that, and it looks like we could have put in a higher low over here. So that being said, there is a very good chance that we continue the trend. Now, what is the best scenario for the best risk to reward? Well, that's probably going to be actually a bearish scenario here. There is a possible we do get a rejection from this zone, especially if we come in, get a rejection of the 23,622 line, or sorry, 23,662 line, and then we can start shorting the market. Now, if we do get this rejection, it's going to be very apparent. Your take profit is all the way at the bottom of this range here at 22,960, and your stop loss is right above the kind of support and resistance box over here, and that is for a risk reward of 5.64. so that is definitely your best risk reward ratio. Is this the most probable? I don't know. Again, this is 50-50, but as a day trader or as a swing trader, if you keep taking the best risk reward ratio, you can't really end up in the red if you play your cards right and if you have good technical analysis. So that being said, those are my two scenarios there. If we do receive a break of this 22,959 line, what I could be looking for is a retest of previous all-time highs over here. Now, typically when we do have a very strong bull market, a massive pullback, and then new all-time highs, we normally come back to retest the previous all-time highs. The market can always be seen as kind of this oscillating wave where we come up, come back down, and kind of just constantly retest things and make new all-time highs. And that's kind of the pattern that we're getting here. So I want to see the continuation of the pattern. So if you are looking for a position in the NASDAQ, you're looking to buy more NASDAQ, I would say wait until we're around this level over here. That could be a very good potential place where you could average down on your NASDAQ trades or get a very, very good swing trade. Because again, if we do come there, there's going to be a lot of buyers, and then right there, you're looking for a great upside trade where you can come back to new all-time highs, and then you have your stop loss, you could say right below the zone or right below the rising support over here. But that's pretty much it, what I'm looking for the NASDAQ. Let's take a look at the heat map over here. Today was very mixed for the NASDAQ, but we have a lot more green than we've had in the past few days. NVIDIA, Apple, Broadcom, Tesla were doing very, very well. So it's nice to see that we have a little bit more bullish support if you are looking to continue this bull trend. Let's take a look at the US 30 here, or the Dow Jones Industrial Index. What I'm looking for the Dow Jones is I'm typically looking for it to do the same thing that the NASDAQ has, but just kind of delayed. Now, the Dow Jones it always kind of mimics the NASDAQ. It's like the NASDAQ's younger brother. It just takes a little bit more time to do things, and when it does things, it doesn't do it as well or as strong, which is kind of good in a sense that if you're looking for a low volatility trade or just a low volatility holding, this could be a very good contender for you. Typically with the bear markets here, we only moved down 18%, when in the NASDAQ we moved 25% down. But what am I looking for the US 30? Well, we can see that with the NASDAQ, we're obviously in a bull market with new higher highs and new all-time highs, and the Dow Jones has just recently made its new all-time high. And that being said, we did get this retest here, and this is a very good trade. You're not really going to see, especially for a massive index like this, a 1, 2, 3, 4, a quadruple top of the market where we come down any lower. This is showing that we have a lot of bullish momentum, especially after a day where we move up 1.87%, which is a lot for the Dow Jones. And that being said, I am looking for a continuation of the bull market for the Dow Jones. Now, what am I expecting here for a take profit? Well, first of all, stop losses can be very, very easy. What I'm going to say is it's going to be right at the bottom of the swing low that we have received. And again, if we're in a bull trend, it's made up of higher highs and higher lows. There's no reason for us to break the lower low. What I can see here for support level, I have this curve tool. This is one of my favorite tools to use, and it really shows the path of a very strong bull market, especially when you're starting to get a little bit less bulls and a little bit more sellers in the market. But right now, what I could do, I can put this support line here right in the middle of this trend over here, and this will give me a pretty good idea, if I match it with the previous resistance line, of where I could expect the market to go in the short term. That being said, I think that a good take profit could be right where these two lines touch, and we could be looking for something like 47,000 or 48,000. Conservative risk-reward ratio would be about 4 with the current stop loss right below that previous swing low, as I mentioned. So if you're looking for a take profit at 47,300, I think that could be a very fair trade. Again, great risk-reward ratio. You're not really having too much to risk. I really like this trade here, and that's why I actually placed it. And if you're looking for trades to be placed nearly almost daily now, in the Discord, we are currently beating the market by 600%, and you're getting all the trades that I'm currently taking that I'm recommending. These are only trades that I'm getting into personally, that I personally trust. So if you are interested in becoming a better day trader, or you want to become a profitable day trader or swing trader, come take a look at that link in the description, wap.com/tnpfinance. I believe the exact number that we're up 618.41%, and that's year to date. So if you want to join in, you know what to do. But let's take a look at the next thing over here, and that's gonna be Tesla. This is another trade that I've been urging everybody to take, and it looks like we are very close to our take profit over here. We got this retest of the breakout, and from there, fantastic risk reward trade of 5 to 1, and then you also have a take profit of 11%. Again, I do trade with leverage and margin, so I really am looking for about 33% when I do cash out. So that's gonna be absolutely delicious, and I can't wait to do that. Let's take a look at Eli Lilly. This stock has fallen drastically, and with Eli Lilly, we can see that we've fallen, let me see how much exactly, from previous all-time highs. We've fallen about 36%, so quite a good ways away. We have this V-shaped recovery, which is my favorite pattern to see, and we have a break of the key resistance line. So that's showing that the market has a lot of strength. We got this retest, this breakup again of a very volatile, well, a very good volatile day, a lot of volume in the market. We're up 6% today. I think that this trend can continue. And if you are looking for a trade for Eli Lilly, a conservative stop loss, looking where we have a lot of tops in the market previously, such as where we see a lot of tops here at $826 a share, I think that could be a great take profit zone as well. And then your stop loss is right at the swing low. You could have it at the swing low over here, or the swing low at $693 a share. But regardless, great risk reward ratio, 16% to the upside, and that's pretty much it. Now for the last stock here, we're going to take a look at NVIDIA. Now for NVIDIA, why am I looking at this? Well, tomorrow they have earnings right after the bell at 4:15 p.m. and that is going to be absolutely monumental for the market. Whether we continue this bull trend or where we start to kind of get that correction is really, I think it's going to be based on NVIDIA. Now, I'm not here to call if we're going to go higher or lower. That's not my job. As a trader, I'm going to be reactive, but have a plan ready in the kind of for the future. So that being said, what is my plan? we have this resistance line at 183.61. If we do get a break above this, then very simple, I am looking to continue with that bull trend. If we get a very strong rejection, I could be looking for a retest all the way back to previous all-time highs at 152.61. Now, if we do get very good earnings reports and we start to gap up in the pre-market, let's say that we gap up to something like 195. This is just a random number. This is not based on anything. A very good trade that I like to do is looking to short the market right back to a retest or a gap fill of previous all-time highs, especially when you get a new all-time high gap up. That is a 1,000,000% chance that it will fill in the future. That being said, very simple. Let's say the pre-market highs are right over here, and this is where we open up at 9:30 the next day. What I'm doing is I'm putting my stop loss right at the pre-market highs, and I'm taking profit all the way back down to the bottom of the gap fill here for a very nice 4.83 risk reward ratio. I did that with Microsoft. I did that with Meta. This is a strategy that works very, very well for me and has a very high win rate. But that's going to be pretty much it for my analysis today. I can't wait for NVIDIA earnings to happen. We are currently beating the market, again, by 614% or something ridiculous like that. If you want to join in, you want to get all the sauce and all the trades, come take a look at the link in the description. But that's going to be a wrap for today. Thank you very much for joining in, and I will see you tomorrow. Later, y'all.